Hello, Akko here. Welcome back to Resonant Rise. You'll join me here in a bit of a work in progress. I'm just been messing around with stuff. I've ripped all this apart again, and I've just made it into a really basic hut. uh, I've, the roof, I didn't like it, and it only took one person to comment that they didn't like it either, and that was enough because I didn't like it anyway. So one person commented saying that they didn't like it also. Yeah, so I've changed it around a bit, and I've just made it real simple to be honest. I've made it so it's wood and cobble. Put some normal glass in the windows, glass panes. Yeah, this window's open because it's got cake cooling. And yeah, one other thing I've changed is in this golem here. And I actually realised stuff like milk buckets, you can right click it so you can specify more than one. So I've just got him specified just to use 3 milk buckets because this was duping milk buckets somehow. So this would gradually fill up with milk buckets, which would block everything else. And at the minute, eggs are a bottleneck again. You see, I've picked up all the buckets. Let's drop them back down. And other than that, they're going really nicely. I've made the oven look slightly nicer as well, but I don't like the front of it, so I have to change that around a little bit. Yeah, right. So this is I'm just trying to play around with different paths and stuff, but I'm going to leave it for now because I'm going to get on with building something for the episode. I might do some of this stuff. It's called Podzol. It's vanilla. It's like a leafy mulch. I was thinking maybe doing the paths out of that with some of these open blocks, path blocks on top of them that act like carpet. Yeah, and I'm going to start working towards changing all my hedges into an actual wall. If you think of it's like a Skyrim town, that's the kind of look I want to go for. So I'm going to have like wooden wall, I'm going to have stone bases to the walls, like wooden tops, but maybe like thatch type roofs and that. But I don't know, I'm playing around with bits. So that's going to come right the way around the compound. And this, I was just messing around with this. I'm going to knock this down again. But I might have some kind of tower there. I'm not sure. That's just normal stone brick at the minute. And yeah, and what I'm going to do, just to keep you up to date with, I'm going to pull this down, start this again. I'm going to start building the village up. Like I say, think of like Riften or something from Skyrim. I kind of want to go with that kind of feel. Over here, I'm going to have like a bent down building, I think. So it looks like the meteor's gone through it. But, not sure yet. But yeah, I'm gonna put the wall right round, and my chunk loader is doing 5 chunks. That's only 3 chunks up to there. I'm gonna bring it out across to here, and then over here I'm gonna keep these trees, and then I'm gonna have my witchery area over here in amongst the trees. I'm gonna have like a bit of a shack out on its own, where I should be doing witchery, which I want to get into at some point. So I've come back down to the base. What I've been working on is getting it all sorted out. It's been holding me back a bit and I need to sort it out. What I'm going to do actually though, before I do anything else, is I'm going to go call a meteor because I finished sorting out the thing last episode. I didn't call a new meteor and it's actually quite fun to see it all in action. So I'm going to bring us a meteor down by throwing an iron block on there, and I've still not fixed that. That's still not working. I'm going to run down here where it's safe. I could just leave that actually. There we go. Up I go. So now this should all be processing because it's all automated. So if we come down here, what we should see in this room, there's a lot of activity starting. How fun is this? So it's coming pretty slow at the minute. You can see at the back there. So we've got our ores coming in, getting processed into the native crystals, and then they're going to the. That's not right. What's going on there? See ingots floating about, shouldn't we? Oh, should we go up to there? The XP, no ingots. Can I see ingots floating up there? Or was it just a trick of my eyes? So anyway, that's it in action. Just loads of little red bits of essentia floating about. Yeah, look, it looks like it's trying to pull things out, the vacuum thing. See the clusters up there? I don't think it is pulling them out though, because it can't pull them anywhere because I've gone full of buttons. I think it's just looking like it's maybe pulling stuff out, but it really isn't. I hope so anyway, because if it's not, I'm losing lots of resources somewhere. Well, I think it's alright anyway. But that's it in action. I think it looks quite magic-y and neat. I like all the little red bits of Ignis floating about. The XP I'd rather do without, if I'm being honest. I can get XP other ways. That just complicates things a little bit. But there we go. I like that. And that should deal with everything. And I'm happy enough to leave that to process all that stuff. I've tidied things up down here a little bit. Oops, let me turn my hood back on. Turn that off. I've tidied things up down here a bit. Last episode, I made these into little sub-networks, and they didn't really need to be. I've changed things around a bit. What's made this look a lot neater is the fact that the dense cables can go straight onto the essential providers. I don't have to step that down to the normal cables. So the fact that they go straight on there means I can run a dense cable straight across this. Now I need the subnetwork there because we'd have more than 10 channels used. But on these sides, we're only actually using 4. 2 for the export buses on the top, 2 for the import buses. So if you add that to this one here, we've got 5. So we've only got 5 on each side coming into this. So I decided to do it this way, and I made a little P2P tunnel. So this is using 2 channels to get across to here, and then we've got 32 channels over here if we need it. And you can see we're only using 18. Is that right? 16. That's lit up, so it must be more than 18. No, 18 and 19, 20. We're using 20 because of these 2 as well. We're using 20 channels there. The way I've done the P2P is I have got 4 tunnels onto 4 of these here, and then I've got this smart cable going that way where I've got 3 tunnels, and that way where I've got the 1. So that's using the 8 channels up on this smart cable. What I'm going to do is, I've not done this side yet, and this is what I want to get with this episode, is I want to do this side as well. So this side is going to have another 4 P2Ps, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're going to go this way. In fact, I don't need 4 just yet. I'm probably just going to do 1 and go 1 that way, yeah, and then I've got 3 left if I need them. The 3 that I've done is I've sent 3 this way, so we've got a bit more options up in the main part of the building. So if we head up there, I'll show you what I've been doing. So this comes in down here. So you can see under there's that cyan cable with the 8 channels being used. It comes into these 3 P2P tunnels that are linked to the 3 that are on the thing down there. And I've got 1 going that way, 1 going up, which will be the upstairs floor, and 1 going this way. So the upstairs floor first. All we've got up there at the minute is just this 1 terminal here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect these things to it. I'm lying, it's not just 1 terminal. We've got storage buses on the back of them, but I'm going to pull them back out, I think. But, this is the upstairs where we've got 32 channels to play with up here now. And then down here, I've got this coming across here, which at the minute we're using 16 channels going that way by the look of it. And we're using 5, 10, 15, 16, yeah, 17. We're using 18 in total going that way. So as you can see, I have moved my auto crafting from across here to over here, and I've expanded it a bit. So instead of having just 1 of these molecular assemblers, I've now got 3. We've got 3 molecular assemblers, and we've only got 1 crafting thing at the minute, but I've started putting bits together to make 2 more. So we'll have 3 crafting units, 3 molecular assemblers. So we should have plenty of auto crafting capability with that. And as you can see, I've just recessed them into the walls, so it's nice and tidy. So these 2 will look the same as this one when it's done. Nice. So that's using 18 channels, which leaves me 14 to go this way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these guys all onto the network in this side. So that's what I'm going to get on with first of all. I'm going to get on with that. And then I'm going to tidy this bit up. Some of this I might actually put upstairs in the main workshop area, and have this is the auto crafting bit down here. But yeah, I might actually put the drives and stuff. I'm not actually decided where I'm going to put the drives. I also want to automate this guy, this crystal growth chamber. The reason why I want to work downstairs is every time I do something ME, I realise I've got no status quartz. I see I've got 6 status quartz there and 52 crystals. So every time I have to go downstairs and I have to sort some out in the Towncraft area, because of course we are doubling our status quartz up in here. Why are you not doubling up? I have run out of something. Either glass or aqua. Let's have a look. And there's no aqua there. I've got vitreous, so I've run out of aqua. So I need to get some more reeds. So that's the other thing I need to do. Over here, I need to have reeds automated, and I need to have aqua automated, and I need to have vitreous automated in them. So I guess that's the plan. Get that Certus quartz one automated at least. The only one we've got automated from upstairs at the minute is this thaumium, but it's not fully automated because it only goes into a chest, because the chest is not import bust up to the thing. Someone actually asked me on a comment if I'd do a bit of a showcase spotlight kind of thing on integrating this thaumic energistics with Thaumcraft, and I think I'll try and get that done tomorrow, because that sounds like a fun little creative video to make. So if you're watching this, person who asked, I saw it earlier and I can't remember who it was because my memory is like a goldfish. I shall try and get that done tomorrow, because that sounds like a bit of a fun video to make. Right, first up then, I'm going to pull all this out. I'm going to sort out some, so I'm going to I'll work out how many ME interfaces I need. Oh, I had to pinch the energy acceptor. I'll tell you for why. That's starting to wind me up, that. I wish it was shift click. Energy. This energy cell was full, and now it's empty, yeah? What I did was trying to keep things neat down here. Let's just drop down here a second and let you know. Try and keep things neat down here. I had the energy acceptor on there. Not the energy acceptor, the energy cell. Let's whip that off a second. Because that there is a dimensional transceiver which I'm getting power from upstairs, yeah? The dimensional transceiver does not put power into the energy cell. So I realised that and I ran out of power down here. So I've had to steal that energy acceptor and I've put that on there. So that energy acceptor is what's powering this. I could just put a cable there with a bit of that quartz fibre, but I plan to use all these, and I don't want to make a mess of the carpet because it's got connected textures. So I'm using the energy acceptor to get the power into these guys, which is pretty cool because it doesn't have any channels involved with it or anything. It's not actually connected to the controllers there. That's all that's connected to is the dimensional transceiver, which is giving me the power. So it's kind of neat. It's a bit of an ugly block, but it's kind of neat, right? So yeah, I'm going to pull all that processing stuff out for the processors, and I'll work out how many ME interfaces and stuff I need, and I shall be back in a minute when I'm ready to put all this back together again. Okay, I'm just going to go off book a little second. I'm just doing my test well, sorting out how many channels I'm actually going to need for this, so I can get it right the first time when I put it together on camera. And I was studying, I looked over there, and it's not actually loading in now, but I looked over there and I saw, not that thing, but behind it, I saw a glimpse of something in the distance. So I came and had a little investigate, and I thought I'd come and show you this. Check this out, this is unreal. This, I believe, is generated by Ancient Warfare. This is the kind of village you could get in Resonant Rise 3 because of Ancient Warfare. Look at the size of this place. Now I'm sure it's Ancient Warfare that does it. I'll show you for why in a minute. Because of stuff like this. That's an Ancient Warfare water wheel that actually produces RF power. That. This is a mod I really want to get into. Look at this windmill. How cool is this shit? That's it. And there's loads of party action going on at the windmill. That must be where Elvis is selling drugs. So yeah, this, since we've been playing on the server, I've not seen a village, and I found it odd at first. But if it's because you can get villages generating this size, it's possibly why I haven't found one. Look at this place. So yeah, Ancient Warfare is a mod I will be getting into. I've not had a chance to yet because we've got that many mods to play around with, and I've kind of gone with mods unknown, which is maybe a bit boring to me, but I promise I will be getting into this mod and playing around with it a bit. Let's have a look inside a couple of these. Oh, that's a freaking mare. Look at this. And he's got a chicken. I don't want to ask. Had a little look through these windows. Check out up here. There's like a little lounge area. Brilliant. Anyway, okay, I'll meet you back in the real world, and I'll carry on putting some stuff together. Love this place. Right then, let's see if I can get this done right the first time. I seriously doubt it. I'm probably, you know me, second time every time. So what I want to do is, these guys need power, so I'm going to run a line up behind them, so there's a line touching them, yeah? And then I'm going to come along the side these. So these three I'm doing separate over here, and I kind of want them to look nice, so I'm building them into the walls. Got a line there, yeah. Got a line there. So I don't want to do that. I've run out of cable already. Brilliant. Should have put some more cable first. Let's have another 16 of them for now. So that should craft. There's 8 and there's 16. Cool. So I think I've worked it out that even with that 14, did I say it was 14, 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, with that 18 there, that leaves me with 14. I think I'm going to be using 13 channels down this side. So what I think is going to happen is I've moved this line a little bit further down there, so I've got the less of the dense stuff used. I think I'm going to have one line spare from this, so I should be able to put a monitor or something here just for the sake of it, to use all 32 channels of that. It's quite weird how my view of this has changed. I made a video about a week ago showing how to do this with like one channel and 2 channels, and now I'm doing in a video to make it with as many channels as I can possibly throw at it. So I've made 7 import buses. So we have an import bus on each one of these, so I might as well put the ones on this side as well, even though we're not going to do this bit just yet. Now this bit's a little bit different around here. I'll get to this bit in a minute, but there's our crystal growth X chamber from A2 stuff. And what I want to be doing here is actually coming down below this charger. So I'm doing the crystal growth from the charger in it while I'm doing it. So there's them. So now I'm going to need ME interfaces. I'll need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because that is going to be on a little subnetwork. So I need 7 ME interfaces. Can I have 7 of these, please? I can. Wonderful. So I'm starting to get there with the auto crafting. I just need to get downstairs connected to it for the status quarters, really. So ME interface, ME interface, ME interface, and then get rid of that. I'm going to want one on there. I'm going to want one on the side of there. Now this looks a bit weird the way I've done this, and I'll explain why. Right now, it's because this guy needs power, and I could use the block ME interface, which I can't cover, or I could just run a cable across the top of it. Turns out the crystal growth chamber gives power to it, so that's why I've got that sat underneath that. In fact, while I'm in here, before we get all blocked in, I'll make that a nice looking block behind there. Like so. Boosh. So what I want this last ME interface is going to be down here. Down here on there. Yay! No. It's going to cause me issue. That's too close. Wow. It might be alright actually. We shall see. We shall see. That might be alright. Yeah, that could be okay. So I don't need them to import buses. They can go back in there. So let's keep it simple. Let's do these first 4 first, because these are the ones we can do a bit easier. So let's come behind there. I'm maybe using a little bit more cable than I need to here. But these are just the 4 silicon press ones, yeah? It's this end one where you combine them all together that's got to be a little bit different. So if I come behind there, and again behind the there's water there for my zombie generators. So that's looking good, I think. I'm going to come down back into the main line here, and if I get this right, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 channels used here, so I can go with a single line there, I think. Oh, you're kidding me, too short. Cable 2. How cool is that village? I'm going to have to get into Ancient Warfare sooner rather than later. I'm kind of wanting to get into Witchery as well at the minute, but I think I'm going to have to go Ancient Warfare first, because some of the stuff there just looks so nice. So there. So we're looking good there. I want to connect that. So we're connected to them, and so 4, 5, 6, and yeah, I think I should be able to put that import bus to come in through the storage bus here. So I should be alright, I think. I think so anyway. Yep. So what we've got in here, we've got let's grab a silicon press. So this one's going to take silicon in it, so let's start making the patterns then. So we want silicon, and I'm going to have to make one first, aren't I? So let's get one of them pressed. And is it put in here for me? It has, wonderful. There. So basically we've got one of them, comes one of them, pattern. So we've got a pattern goes in there for that. There we go. So now we can craft them on demand, and then we also, while we're at it, we might as well might as well get that bit done. So I don't need more, I did want more cables anyway, but I can do them a different colour. What colour should we have? Got 80 of them ones, let's go with them. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 export buses, and that one import bus. So that also needs power behind it. So I'm going to have to go behind that as well. So it's got power. This doesn't need to be smart cable, by the way. This would be a lot cheaper if I do it with normal cable, but I kind of like doing it with this, so I know what I'm doing when I look at it later on. So I need 3 export buses. And 1 storage bus. Which I've got 3 of already, which is nice. That goes on there. I'm also going to need a quartz fibre between them, aren't I? Because that's going to need power. So let's do that and that. The only bit I'm not sure on is if this is going to put back into the system okay, but I think it should. Fibre. Connect that to that. Cool, and now we want export bus, export bus, export bus. Sweet. So this bottom one here is going to take printed silicons. This side one is going to take redstones. And the top one is going to take the 3 other things. We need to make, so we'll keep making patterns as we go actually. So we've got a printed silicon. I didn't want that to put a redstone in there. That's because I've got no pattern in there yet, so it's just putting things in. We don't want it to do that. That should put that silicon in there as well then. Yeah, it has, look. So that's alright for now. Once we've got a pattern in there, it shouldn't do that though, I don't think. So that shouldn't be a problem. So we've done silicon, so what's next? We've got engineering, which I believe is a pure quartz, is it not? No, it's not pure quartz. Engineering is the diamond then. Calculation is the pure quartz. Yes. It's took it away from me. So we need diamond. Let's do it that way. No, so we need pure quartz and that calculation processor bit we just made. And we need 2 gold. So that was a diamond, and that means that one is the logic, which is the gold. So then if we look in here, we should have one of them and one of them. Get off. And I should maybe grab them while I'm in here as well, because we're going to need that as well. Right then, so I've got a pattern in there, haven't I? Yeah, so I need a pattern for the next one, which is going to be 1 gold becomes 1 printed logic circuit. There we go. And that wants to be in that one. I think there's a way you can do this so that these presses come in and out, but I can't be bothered. I think it looks kind of cool like this. So engineering circuit was a diamond, and calculation was the pure quartz. So that means we can make all them on demand from crafting. So that was the calculation, wasn't it? As the engineering, that's the diamond. So diamond and quartz. Cool. So now back in it we again with, we want one of them. I don't want it to go into the thing I read away. I already have one in there still. Got to use that. Never mind. So now I want to tell this that where's they gone? Did I throw them in there? What did I chuck them in there for? One of them. One of them. And one of them equals one of them. Pattern. Pattern goes in the ME interface. What we also want to do is get a capacity upgrade on that. I ain't got a capacity upgrade, need to make one of them. I've not set that to auto craft yet, so I need to put the basic card to auto craft as well by the look of it. A capacity card, one of you please. So that wants to be in there, and this means this can take more than one recipe, so we want to say that and that are allowed in there. We've done redstone, yeah, we've done that, yeah. So now in here we've got our first pattern, we need to do our 2 other patterns. So we've both got redstone in. That's not our pattern thing. Try it again. So one with that becomes that. And inventory issues. One with that becomes that. Sorted. We are getting there. So they're both going to be in there as well. So let's take them out now. It shouldn't put anything in there because we've not asked for anything, but it is. Don't want it to do that. Didn't expect it to do that either. So it's just going to put stuff in there as soon as it makes. It is. Yeah, it's not pushing the other things in. It's not pushing them in because they're not connected, is why it's not pushing them in. Because I didn't want to get water all over. So yeah, look, it's pushing them in. So it's just going to have a redstone in there all the time, isn't it? Not a big deal. Not a big deal. It's a bit shabby, I guess, but it's not a big deal. Alright, so that's got enough channels, even with that addition on. So next up we need to see if that works. So they all work, because we've got something out of all them, yeah? So in here we should have no silicon. press bits. We should have no, what are they actually called? The press bits. Circuits. So we've got none of them, so it's made them all. So that's all good. And we should be able to request a craft. So let's go with logic, and let's, hold on wait a second, let's craft 32 of them please. It says everything's there to go. And we should see it crafting them. That's the wrong one, isn't it? I had that left over before the silicon. This is not going as well as I wanted it to. So where's the silicon then? Why aren't you doing silicon? You are. Why is silicon not going in there? This is not going to plan. Okay, well, I'm clearly missing something there, so I'm going to have to come back to that. I've tidied it up, I've covered things up. It looks a bit drab, for being honest. These are a bit, I don't know, when they're in the wall you can't see the pipes, they're a little bit dull, aren't they? I have to put a floor there, don't I? But yeah, everything works apart from that one. Don't know what happens. If I put the thing in, so I've requested 4 there, it just gets stuck. But, if we're looking here, how many we've got? Logic. We've got 29. If I cancel that job, it will make them, I think. If I cancel that, that may be a liar. Oh no, here it comes, look. So now I've cancelled it, it's going to make 4. I'm sure you guys probably know more than me on that. The only other thing I didn't put power behind the back of that. So that works fine. I have just crafted those 2. And I crafted more of them. So these have got a line of 3 core processors down the back. So each one's got 4 core processors and a crafting monitor. So I think my crafting setup's kind of nice and discreet there. So I've got 3 of them. Should be okay. As you can see, that's using nearly all the channels up. I think I've got 1 spare channel in that. So that's kind of cool. And quite efficient, I think. And it's just that bit is a little bit weird. So I'm sure you guys have got a lot of you guys have got a lot more experience with AE2 than I have. So if anyone can give me some pointers on what I should do with that, I guess I'll watch some videos after I finish this one and try and work out myself. But there we go. I don't know if I like the look of it, if I'm being honest. But we'll see. I might change it around a bit. I'll tidy this bit up after the episode. What I'm going to do now for the rest of the episode is I'm going to go back downstairs and get the rest of that Thaumcraft room sorted. So I shall meet you down there when I've got the bits ready to do that. Okay, a couple of little things before I head downstairs. I've not done anything with that monstrosity over there, all that mess. What have I done? I've added a couple more recipes into this. Now, I could take the thing off the side like that and get into there. And you can see I put in the pure Certus pure fluix and creating fluix in that thing, which works very nicely. But instead of having to do that every time, what I can do is I can put that cover on. And in here, you can set these so that you can actually see them or not. And I thought I'd left that so I could see it on purpose, and I have not. So I'll put that off again. So now I can get that so you can have that so it shows or hides. And I thought I left it on showing so I could show you it. But there you go. Now that crystal growth chamber there, look, so that's showing. So I could have just put things in there, but I like to have them hidden. So I shall be hiding that on there. Same as the inscriber there. See, we've got the inscriber. I shall be hiding them for as well, so they're not showing on there. So it keeps your interface terminal a little bit tidier. You can keep things hidden. At the minute, you can see I've got 3 alchemical constructs sorted. So what I'm actually going to do is let's try this Certus, and I'm going to go into there. I'm going to say 1 Certus becomes 2 Certus. I'm going to create a pattern for it. Weird, isn't it? And I'm going to go put it into our chemical construct there. And then what we're also going to need to do is make sure it's the right one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and craft some Certus. So it's got a craftable. And let's say 64 of them, please. It's not letting me. Why is it not letting me? That's weird. Okay. Chemical constructs. One creates two. Certus quartz crystal. So that's then okay. Then that's not actually gonna let me do that, is it? Available 32 to craft 34. That's all. That's the right amount there, isn't they? Well, that's a shame. I might have to try and work out how to do that. What I'm trying to get it to do is just push Certus quartz into this down here. There's some in there. What have I not got? I've not got no aqua. I've got vitreous, got no aqua. But that should have been pushing into there. I don't know if that was already there from when I'd already put some in though. So that might have already been in there. I'll start to suss that out between episodes anyway. What I've done then is jump down here, and I've done this half, but I've left that half to do on camera. So I've got another 2 P2Ps here, because if you add all this up, we've got 3 alchemical constructs there, and each one has got a sensor provider, an ME interface, and a ME import bus. So that's 3, 6, 9, and then this side is going to be 18, and then down here we've got the furnaces, and there I've got 2 essential buses on the back, and they're all going to want an input. So it's going to work out more than 32. So what I've done is I've done 2 P2P tunnels coming this way for now, and I've also got the things there. This P2P going up. So what I've got then, let's do it this way. This tunnel comes in, and first of all it goes off there, and that goes up and does the 3 terminals up above the door, the V relay up above the door, the thaumic restorer across this side, and it also goes to the essential provider above the infusion altar. So that's using 3, 4, 5, 6 channels of this controller. And then what we're also going to do with that is I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to put the other end of that onto there, like so. And we're also going to use that one that's got 6 of, so we've got 24 channels left off that. I'm going to connect that to all these down here. So they'll pretty much sort themselves out for now. And I might have to do some stuff with that when I'm adding stuff onto it. So we'll shift right click on that, right click on that, and you should see that light up. There we go. So at the minute you can see we're using 3, 4, 2, 2 and 2. So at the minute we're not using that many, but if we add all them together, if we all get 4, that'd be 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So you can see we definitely won't have enough with them other 2 9s. So it's why I've done it like this. And what we can do on this side is if we come off here down to here, and how far do I want to go with that? I want to go 1 into the black, okay, into the Tyrian box, and then we're going to put our other piece of P onto here. So what I'm doing with this is from this controller, just to keep the wires tidy, from this controller here, I'm shift clicking on now. Oh, I had to put quartz fibers on them, by the way. Once I connected 2 colours to that, it actually shared the channels through there like I should have expected it to. So I put quartz fibers between the energy acceptor and the things here. So I've shift clicked that. So from that controller, we're coming out, and we're already linked to there. So we've got 9 channels coming in from there, and we're also going to link to there as well. So what we're effectively doing is we're splitting that controller to the 2 sides of the room. So now we can jump into here and sort all this side out, and it's a little bit wire intensive. Let's find the right hole to get out of. So what I have to do with this, unfortunately for me, again, is I have to break them, because I'm changing these to red ones just because I like the fact that it makes the thingies go red, and I like everything red. I like everything one colour, so I don't actually need that to be red. But what happens when I take them off is it takes the facades off, and I can't get the facades on apart from the front. So I'm having to break these again. So all I'm doing with these is I'll come down here. I was getting rid of all this cable. I think the benefit I'm thinking of using all this same colour cable is if you come back to play with it later on, change things about, you're gonna have much more of an easier time being able to route stuff that you built a couple of months ago. You know what I mean? So I'm not actually gonna go that way with that. I'm gonna shut that off, and I'm gonna go straight down that way with it. Yeah. So I'm gonna go into there. I'm gonna get a stone block in there. In fact, I'll just do this one, because the other two are just the same. I'll do this one on camera, then I'll wrap up. So connecting under that. So what we've got here is we've got a connection on the top. That's our ME interface. That needs to work out if it can actually. It can push things. I made thaumic doing it the other day, so it certainly works. I just don't know if it likes that recipe, because it's just basically saying put in sets and get 2 sets back. Go on there, please. Why are you not going there? Because there's no cable on the back. Fool. Try that again. So I'll put my facade on there, and then put my facade on there, and then I can put that guy back, and then I can put that guy back, and then because of inventory tweaks I need to move that, otherwise I throw my wand on the floor. Tip my thing off, I can put that back, so that's all sorted. And now all I need to do is cover the hole there, and put my runic, yeah, put these guys back on the side again. I've broken and put these guys back together so many times it's unbelievable. And what else I'm going to do while I'm here is just to tidy things up a little bit. I've got some more Tyrian facades, because there isn't any Blackstone facades for some reason. I'm just going to put one there, and one there, and one there. As you can see, I've put import bus underneath the chests, like on the processing side over there. So bam, there's that one pretty much sorted. What I can do now is if I come under here, we should fall into that. Yeah, we have. Cool. So let's just break this a minute. So rather than, oops, didn't break that one. Rather than come across like this, I've decided, because we've got 3 things connected to these, so it's 3, 6, 9. We can't do it all off one cable. So I've got just one of these big cables here, and then it's going across like so. So we've got 3 channels coming in from there. Oh, change colour. There we go. 3 channels from there. We'll have 3 channels from there, and 3 channels from that side. And I'll tidy it all up, cover it with facades, and it'll end up looking like that. Cool. And all I've got to do is cover all that up, and then I can access that from behind. So we're pretty much finished down here with the wiring, which I'm pretty sure you're probably glad to hear about. I can move on to something else, because it has taken a bit of doing. So yeah, things I can do is I can set up some kind of auto feed. That's in fact the one thing I really need to do still, is set up some kind of auto feed for this thing, whether it's from a dropper or if I pipe it straight down to it. I think I'm just going to use the open crate to drop it from a height, so that should be cool. Open crate guarantees a drop straight down, so I could just drop things from the roof from there. And I want it so I can have some kind of input place next to a terminal. I am going to have to put terminals, them two at least, across that side as well. I'm not going to bother with this one, because this one needs to be linked to that. Oh, I should be able to link that, because it's connected by cable. Yeah, I'll be able to put all 3 over there. So I'll get them 3 putting over that side as well. This over here, just the same as that. You can see, look, the little red bits on now. Isn't that nice? Because I've got red cable on. like these tools that are set up for actual specific items, I'll be setting these up. One for glass, one for probably something with aqua, because I'm using a lot of that for Certus, and one for something else possibly. Or I might just leave it and use it as a random one. But there we go. We have pretty much finished down here, and I can come and craft things whenever I need it. Or I will check between episodes if I can actually get that to work. The thing that's what I don't like about that is it's one Certus quartz becomes two. So I don't know if it's liking the fact that or am I just not reading it right. What we should see now, if we come back up to the interface terminal, if I can actually hit it without running past it, is we should see 4. Oh, I've got all 6 back online. Oh, because I must have connected that red cable to the other one. So, strange. So you see that we've got a pattern in for thaumic, and that actually worked. It pushed it into the right one. So if I was to try and craft thaumic, let's have a look at that, see if that works. So we've got 59. So let's have 5. That's okay, isn't it? 5 of them to craft 5 of them. Start. And that's going to chuck things in downstairs. And it should all work. If I failed. Have I failed? Come on. I've not connected that yet. So there we go, it's made the 5. I have not, on this side yet, I have not put these other 2 import buses. That's what's going on. I think one of them's got an import bus, that one, and these 2 haven't yet. So there we go, that's that. Thank you as always for watching. I'll try and work out if that does work, and I'll also try and work out what I'm doing wrong with that final inscriber up there, and get them fixed next episode. And hopefully next episode we'll want something else. Now, I don't want to do a demon invasion. I wanted Dave to do it. I don't know how far Dave is with the alchemical reagents. So I may push on and get some alchemical reagents made, and see if Dave wants to actually trigger the ritual if I get it done. Because I'd like to get that done. Then I'm kind of done with tier 6. I want to get to tier 6 of blood magic, and I can move on witchery and ancient warfare. The 2 things I want to go at. And there's a couple of other little things I want to look at. Relocation, something. We found relocation. There is a very cool multi-block structure that lets you teleport back to your bed, which I kind of quite fancy. Sice has got one, so I'm going to have to investigate that and look into how that's made. So yeah, thank you as always for watching. I hope to see you next time. Cheers, bye.